നന്മയാകുന്ന കാന്തി കാണുവാൻ കണ്ണിനാകേണമേ. നല്ല വാക്കിൻ്റെ ശീലു ചൊല്ലുവാൻ നാവിനാകേണമേ.
ഈ മനോഹരമായ ഗ്രാമത്തിൽ ഒരു വിദ്യാലയമുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അത് വെറുമൊരു വിദ്യാലയമായിരുന്നില്ല, സ്വപ്നങ്ങളുടെ ലോകമായിരുന്നു. പ്രകൃതിയുടെ സൗന്ദര്യത്താൽ ചുറ്റപ്പെട്ട ശുദ്ധമായ അന്തരീക്ഷത്തിൽ കുട്ടികൾ കളിച്ചും ചിരിച്ചും ജീവിച്ചു. ഭൂമിയുടെ പാട്ടുകൾ പാടിയും കാറ്റിനൊപ്പം നൃത്തം ചെയ്തും നാടകം അവതരിപ്പിച്ചും അവരുടെ നാളുകൾ സന്തോഷത്താൽ നിറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു. അവർ നാളത്തെ കലാകാരന്മാരായിരുന്നു. അവരുടെ ഹൃദയങ്ങൾ സർഗാത്മകതയും ജീവിതത്തോടുള്ള സ്നേഹവും നിറഞ്ഞതായിരുന്നു. ദാ അവിടെ ഓഡിറ്റോറിയത്തിൽ കുട്ടികൾ ഷേക്സ്പിയറിന്റെ കൃതിയായ ദി മർച്ചന്റ് ഓഫ് വെനീസ് അടിസ്ഥാനമാക്കി ഒരുക്കുന്ന ഒരു നാടകം പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. വെനീസിന്റെ പശ്ചാത്തലത്തിൽ നടക്കുന്ന ഈ സങ്കീർണവും ആകർഷകവുമായ നാടകത്തിൽ നീതി, കരുണ, സ്നേഹം, വ്യക്തിഗത ആഗ്രഹങ്ങൾ എന്നിവയെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള കഥയാണ് അവതരിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. അന്റോണിയോ, ഷൈലോക്ക്, പോർഷ്യ, ബസാനിയോ എന്നിവരുടെ ജീവിതം തമ്മിലുള്ള ബന്ധങ്ങൾ ഇവരെല്ലാവരുടെയും മൂല്യങ്ങൾ പരീക്ഷിക്കുന്നതും അവരുടെ വിധികൾ മാറ്റുന്നതുമായ വെല്ലുവിളികളെ നേരിടുന്നതുമാണ് കഥ. പ്രശസ്തമായ ട്രയൽ സീനുകളും മറക്കാനാവാത്ത കഥാപാത്രങ്ങളും വഴി മനുഷ്യനെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള സങ്കീർണതകളും സാമൂഹിക പ്രതീക്ഷകളും ഷേക്സ്പിയർ ആഴത്തിൽ അവതരിപ്പിക്കുന്നു.
If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? Is the famous quote of the maestro, William Shakespeare. Dear audience, let's now relax and enjoy William Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice, presented by the students of high school. The Merchant of Venice is classified as a comedy in the first folio, but the play is more remembered for its dramatic scenes. We consider The Merchant of Venice as one of the best Shakespearean plays because through the character, Shakespeare represents many features of the English society such as friendship, love, and racism. Many centuries ago, there was a merchant in Venice named Antonio, and he was wealthy, having made his money successfully trading goods internationally. Antonio had a friend Bassanio, and Bassanio had an interest towards Portia, a lady richly left, fairer than that word, and of wondrous virtues. Scene 1. Antonio and Bassanio's conversation.
The scene opens in the quiet confines of Antonio's private room. Despite the wealth he once held, the merchant finds himself troubled by a deep sense of uncertainty. His fortunes tied to the uncertain fates of his ships. His loyal friend Bassanio seeks his aid in a matter of love and ambition, a venture that will soon lead him to the cunning Shylock, whose help comes at a cost.
Antonio, my friend, the woman I love, Portia, she is far beyond my reach. Her wealth and status are of such that I have no hopes of marrying her without a dowry. Can you help me?
Bassanio, you're my heart's closest friend. Though I have no cash at hand, my ships at sea will surely bring me great fortune. But they are not yet home. We must turn to Shylock, the Jewish moneylender. Though I despise him, his loan would come with a price, a heavy price. I'm sure of it.
Scene 2. Shylock's house, bond agreement.
In the dimly lit interior of Shylock's house, a tense atmosphere hangs heavy. Antonio, in a desperate bid to help his friend Bassanio, has come to the moneylender whose past grudges now fuel his every word. As the two men face the demands of the bond, the stakes grow ever higher. What was once a mere loan for 3,000 ducats now turns into a dangerous wager that could cost Antonio more than he ever imagined.
Oh, I'm surprised, Antonio. After everything you've said and done, mocking me, insulting my people, you now come asking for 3,000 ducats, Antonio. You're confident, I see. I'll lend you the sum, but in exchange, I demand something special. A pound of your flesh. If you fail to repay on time, it's mine. How ironic.
Shylock, I admit my wrongs, but please, put our past aside. I ask for your help. You know my credit is solid in Venice.
You mean gold? I don't need gold. If I wanted gold, I'd go to the Duke's treasury. But your credit means nothing to me. In fact, I want something more. Something that will teach you a lesson. A pound of your flesh, Antonio.
Shylock, you're surely joking.
I mean it, Bassanio. You've praised me with your fine words. Yet no one, not even you, has treated me with respect. Antonio spat on my beard. He insulted me, and he will pay for it, whether he realizes it or not.
Shylock, I didn't mean it personally. It was just business. No hard feelings.
Oh, Antonio, you speak sweetly, but I know your true nature. You think your wealth will get you out of this? Think again. I want a pound of your flesh. No more, no less. Will you sign?
I'm confident I'll repay you. I'll sign your bond, Shylock. But know this. After this, you have no hold over me. I trust my ships will return, and this bond will mean nothing.
The hope of a merchant. You speak like time is on your side. But time is fickle. Sign the bond, whether you regret it or not. That's your risk, not mine.
Shylock, this is madness. Antonio is your equal in wealth and your equal in Venice. This will ruin him. Is this truly worth it?
Worth it? This isn't a petty dispute. This is about justice. Antonio has wronged me and he will pay. He's too proud to say it, but I'll take my pound of flesh. He'll never meet the bones turns.
I hear you, Shylock. Though I fear your cunning, I stand by my word. A pound of flesh, it's yours.
Good. There's something satisfying about seeing you so miserable. It's the true test. Will your pride save you, or will it lead you to your ruin? You'll find it out soon enough. Sign it, Antonio. Show me what your word is worth of.
Scene 3. News of Antonio's predicament.
Antonio's ships are lost, and his debt to Shylock is now unpayable. Bassanio, stunned, quickly rises, determined to act.
Bassanio, the news is grim. Antonio's ship has sunk, and the money he owes Shylock can't be paid. He's at Shylock's mercy.
What? This is impossible. I must see him. We must act quickly.
Scene 4. The courtroom scene.
In the grand tense atmosphere of the courtroom, the stakes are higher than ever. Antonio stands before the judge, Shylock demanding his pound of flesh, while the onlookers hold their breath. Every word spoken, every argument presented could steal Antonio's fate. The battle for justice begins as the both sides prepare for a final, fateful confrontation.
Plaintiff Shylock, defendant Antonio, the Duke will reverently proceed with the hearing.
Has Shylock come here? Yes, Your Grace. Tell me, Shylock, you can proceed with your stand.
Thy Grace, 3 months over since I gave money to Antonio. Since the time is expired, he should give me a pound of flesh as per bond signed by Antonio.
This is a matter of great weight, Antonio. You stand accused of breaking your bond with Shylock. The terms of the bond are clear. If you fail to repay him, he is entitled to take a pound of your flesh. Antonio, what do you say?
My lord, looking for a pardon for the disturbance. I am able to bear with these controversies. I can't tolerate seeing the kindest man on earth being tried with injustice.
The court warns you for interruption.
Please excuse me, but I need to uphold justice. I need to uphold the pride of my ancestors' values. I need to save my friend from the clutches of wickedness.
Permission granted. You could enter the stand.
My sincere gratitude to you, my lord. I request you to give me a month's time from today to pay the debts for the loans my friend Antonio has borrowed from the witty Shylock on my behalf.
But what if you fail, Antonio? What do you say?
I'd like to answer this question, Thy Grace, on behalf of my client Antonio.
You may proceed further, young lawyer.
My client Antonio had borrowed money from Shylock 3 months back on behalf of his friend. He had signed in the will that was planned by the witty Shylock, stating that if he fails to pay back his debts, Shylock in turn will take away a pound of flesh near to his heart. Unfortunately, to his bad time, or to the evil time of Shylock, 2 of Antonio's ships were wrecked. My lord, Shylock is keen about a pound of flesh. Let him have it.
Have you bought the knife, Shylock? Hope it is sharpened.
Yes, I have, Your Honor. Ask your men to bring Antonio in. It's getting delayed.
Your Grace, I beg your pardon. Before you pass judgment, consider this. You may take your pound of flesh, Shylock, but not 1 drop of Antonio's blood may be spilled. For if you do, your life shall be penalized.
What? The bones is nothing of blood? I am entitled to my pound of flesh.
Indeed, you are entitled to your pound of flesh, but you cannot spill a drop of blood. The bond does not grant you that right.
You are bound by the law, Shylock, but you have also bound yourself to its limits. Take heed, for if you shed 1 drop of blood, the law turns against you.
I cannot take the flesh without blood. The law it has turned against me.
Since you have chosen to destroy Antonio's life, I hereby declare that you must forfeit your own. Your wealth shall be split, half to the state and half to Antonio.
Thy Grace, if mercy is to be granted, I offer a settlement. Let Shylock offer his wealth, but let him live.
Shylock, for your actions against the state and the people of Venice, your life is spared. But you will have to give your wealth, which will go to Antonio. This is your sentence.
Scene 5. End scene, the resolution.
Thus, justice has been served. Antonio is free. Shylock's schemes have been thwarted, and love and loyalty reign. Let this day be remembered as one of mercy, wisdom, and the strength of human bonds.
And so the tale ends. The laws of Venice, both harsh and merciful, have shaped the fates of the men and women in this courtroom. In the end, love and loyalty conquered the cold procession of the law. Therefore, we are left to ponder. What price must we pay for justice, and how much can mercy truly change our lives? The moral of the story is knowledge without justice ought to be called cunning rather wisdom. That's the end of Idealites, The Merchant of Venice, the trial of wit and wisdom. Thank you, everybody.